Salutations, crustaceans! I'm Lobster, and today we're going to be installing a preamp into our Sire V5 Fretless. Let's do this! This, as many of you may know, is my modified Sire V5 Fretless, featuring a Fender-style all-bridge replacement bridge. There are some extra holes because this is a Fender-style bridge that I had to drill for. Some DiMarzio Area J pickups, and Hipshot ultralight tuners at the headstock. This is probably my favorite fretless jazz bass ever. I love this thing. Now you may be wondering why I'm putting a preamp into this bass. I originally was not planning on doing so. However, in my preamp mod series, I played with this Lusithand preamp, the NFP, a filter-based preamp, which is a very, very interesting preamp. It's not an EQ as we're normally used to, but instead a filter that is similar to that of a Alembic or a wall bass. A very, very interesting preamp. That bass featured a double filter preamp where each pickup had its own separate preamp. However, that again requires a side jack, and we're not going to drill a side jack on this bass. Instead, we're going to utilize the regular NFP preamp mounted on a jazz plate right here. I am very excited to install this into my Sire, and this preamp does accommodate the battery in the control cavity, so everything should be able to fit right in there without any modification. Before we begin, I want to thank Lusithand Devices for providing me this preamp. I very much appreciate it. Now I think it's going to be a good idea to play this with the stock electronics, well, the stock controls at least, so we can get an idea of what this sounds like before the modification. Well, let's get started. You guys know what you need to do. Go ahead and hit that like button so my hand will turn back to normal. Thanks. So as I mentioned before, this bass features DiMarzio Area J hum canceling pickups, and I love these pickups. I think they sound amazing. Here's what this bass sounds like with both pickups on at 100% and the tone at 100%. Very nice, very nice. And here's just the bridge pickup soloed. And here's the neck pickup soloed. Very nice, very nice. Now let's go ahead and install our Lusithand preamp. To the workbench. And here we are at the workbench. We're going to go ahead and install this Lusithand NFP preamp. This should be a pretty straightforward install. We're just going to be connecting our pickup wires and our ground to the screw-in connectors right here. There really shouldn't be much soldering, if any. And the battery is going to fit right into the cavity as well, so there's not going to be any modification required. Well, let's get started. First, we're going to go ahead and remove the stock controls. Okay, here's our control cavity here. So first and foremost, let's go ahead and remove the existing controls. I'm going to go ahead and desolder what I can. Okay, now with our stock electronics removed, let's go ahead and just start sorting things out a little bit. We'll go ahead and start connecting everything. We're going to go ahead and connect our bridge ground to our shield over here. And then we are going to start connecting our pickups to the preamp. So this preamp is utilizing screw-down connectors, which is very handy. So with this particular pickup, the gray and the green wire will go to ground, and the red wire will go to the hot input. What I'm going to do is snip the ends of these wires, and we're going to get some freshly stripped ends here. Okay, so the red wire is going to go right in here. Bloop. We're going to screw down the connector. And then for the grounds, we are going to go ahead and put in our green wire and our gray wire. We're going to attach our other pickup grounds to the third connector, as well as our cavity ground, per the instructions. And we're done. We're just going to go ahead and install a battery. Just going to grab one of these over here. And let's see how this thing sounds. Preamp is plugged in. Let's go ahead and pop this back in. Looks like everything lines up perfectly. Let's go ahead and reinstall our control plate with our screwdriver and see how this bass sounds with our new Lusithand preamp. Okay, we are all done. Let's go ahead and see how this bass sounds with the new Lusithand NFP preamp. Back to the wall. And we're back. We have successfully installed our Lusithand NFP filter-based preamp. Let's go ahead and see how this sounds. So what you've heard thus far is with the Preamp Bypassed. So what you get there is essentially just the tone at 100% and no preamp. Let's go ahead and activate that now with this little toggle switch. The preamp is now active. Let's go ahead and solo our bridge pickup first. I wired the controls backwards by accident, so it looks like we're playing with the neck pickup, but it's the bridge. Yep, this is gonna be fun. So let's start playing with the different voicings we get here. Ooh, that was cool. Also cool. I'm liking this. I'm liking this. Interesting, interesting. So let's go ahead and turn that back up all the way. And now let's go ahead and push the tone knob here. This is a push-push. I believe it's a gain boost. Yeah, so what you heard was with the gain boost active. Here is what it sounds like with the gain boost off. Now let's turn the preamp filter control back up and switch pickups. We're going to go ahead and solo the neck pickup. Now let's go ahead and turn that filter control back up, and we're going to push down that knob and activate the gain boost and do it all again. Very cool, very cool. Essentially, this is almost like a tone knob on steroids, where you just get so much, I guess, modulation. Or I guess that's not the right word, but you just get so much, I guess, timbre flexibility in terms of how the tone is voiced. It's very, very interesting. Now I'm going to go ahead and turn up both pickups to 100%, and we're just going to do it one more time. And then let's just push the tone knob in, activate the higher gain mode, and just go through the tones one last time, and then we'll call it. Well, there we have it. We pretty much went through all the different tones on this Lusithand NFP single filter preamp. I think the fretless character is very well accentuated by this preamp, and I think you can get some really gnarly tones out of this. You can get some really fat dubby tones, or some just like gnarly gritty tones that you really wouldn't expect out of a jazz bass. But at the end of the day, you can always just bypass it and get your traditional tones as well, though you don't have a passive tone control. I guess one thing I'd like to see in the future is the integration of the passive tone control with the circuit. That way, if you're bypassing the preamp, you still have some sort of tonal flexibility. That being said, I am not complaining because I think that the tones we get out of this are awesome. So great job, Lusithand Devices, at making a killer preamp, and I look forward to messing around with more preamps in the future on more different kinds of basses. That is it for this video. Go ahead and leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about the Lusithand NFP preamp in this Sire V5 Fretless. I know I'm digging it. Well, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching, everyone. Be sure to like, subscribe, join our Discord, and leave a comment down below and let me know what you think about my Sire V5 modified with a Lusithand NFP preamp. And as always, until we groove again,